Can wait.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Those of you watching, this is Stormfront Freaks Raw, because this is the live recording, or if you're watching after we've recorded, you're still watching basically all the behind the scenes, all the breaks, all the nonsense, all the technical fouls that don't seem to work. You're going to get it all if you're watching this one. So
We don't
welcome.
have those.
Yes. We don't. You know, I still need to, whenever I've got like a month of free time, go back and do like pull bloopers off of all the shows.
Yeah, there are a few. You're right.
And I've started I've started doing that probably, I don't know, since this spring. The shows that I edit and then that go on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV.
Yeah.
I now find a blooper during the show that's not a part of the normal show.
And you put it at the end, right?
Yeah, and I put it at the end. And so the
I've actually seen a couple of those.
The last one, it was the one that I missed. So it was with Brantley Hargrove, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know, some discussion, Brady started getting into cats.
Yes, he did.
And then Kim started bringing up pussies and
that's
cornhole and three-ways and all legitimate things if you live in Cincinnati.
What kind of podcast am I getting myself
into?
That's
here?
right, exactly.
Did you see, I even panned the phone away from my calendar there because I thought...
I did see your calendar.
that
I was trying to
be,
see it.
Yeah, my spicy adventure calendar. It's old 30s pulp artwork that I love.
That's a good background you've got, though, with the tornado and your barometer and everything.
Yeah.
Pretty fancy.
Yeah, it is.
It's been terrible for a long time, and finally somebody says, you kind of need to start going professional. You need to start, combing your hair. You need to start thinking. And so, okay.
So how much did it cost to mount that size of a photo behind you?
What happened was I sold it, and this one has a little green mark on it somewhere, and the printers, so they had to print another one, and they said, do you want to buy this one? And I said, I'll give you $50 for it. And they said, okay.
No way.
Wow.
I said, yeah.
Was that mounted and framed, or was that just what you paid for the...
It was dry mounted, and then one of my friends who felt sorry for me said, hey, I can frame that for you. And he built a little, because he knew I wasn't going to do it. And, he built a little wooden frame around it. So now I'm in debt. Now I owe him a favor. He's going to ask me to help him move one day. I know it.
To the third floor.
To get that, I'd help someone move to get something that size. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That
the whole
thing
cost me $50. I scored.
Nice.
No way. Well, that's good.
Well, Brady's usually late.
Yeah, Maz isn't usually early.
Well, it's usually here by now.
Yeah.
True. Oh, wait, I got a text from Maz.
Uh-oh.
Still trying to get on. My computer is acting a little bit.
All right.
Acting! Thank you.
Acting.
He's doing Shakespeare.
Thank you. Acting. And I better
I'll
try
let
and
John
get a hold
love
of
it.
Brady, I guess. Huh?
Is there a way to wake him up? You got an alarm you can remotely run for him? Hey!
Hey, Brady actually made it.
That's funny.
Woo-hoo!
Same thing happened last show. just as I was texting him.
And there's...
Hey, there we go.
The whole gang's here.
Hey.
All right. We'll get everybody on. Make sure they check their mics. All that good jazz.
Maz, we can't hear Maz yet. He's...
Oh, hey. Hi.
Oh, there he is.
Okay. Sorry. I was waiting my turn. Am I not
polite.
okay? Because my computer is still doing something funny. I don't know what it's doing. So
you're coming in good, though.
Good. Thank you.
All right. Mm-hmm. Did you just adjust my level up or down, Mark?
I adjusted it up just a little bit. I'm trying to figure it out.
Need a little volume? I can get some more volume.
No, I think, well, not yet.
Well, last show I was low compared to everybody else.
Okay. Give it.
Pretty happy now, though.
Yeah, I am. I'm upbeat, a little more upbeat.
Hey, is that Pecos?
What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Nice skull in the background. I like it.
You see the skull?
I did, yeah.
That's my Mexico thing. So I've got Japan, Thailand, Mexico, Norway. So yeah, Mexico gets a skull.
Very cool.
Hey, you got a Swedish dollar horse there.
Yeah, we're Swedish.
There you go.
We're Swedish and Norwegian here.
Norwegian and Italian here.
Good. Brady, unmute yourself. Let's do a quick check on you.
What's up, guys?
Good.
Look at him. He looks awfully happy.
I'm a little chipper, you know.
That's good.
You're
a hot date? Is that a hot date?
No. Well, I did download Bumble, so I'm looking.
Hey, you got to do something with your mic. You're sounding like you're way far away, like your mic's not close to you. Or
hold on, I don't know if I'm plugged in. Let me see.
Tap on it. You're not.
You're muted now.
Now he's muted. Yeah.
9 o'clock, 9:02.
Hello.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Tap on your mic.
Nope.
Nope.
Go to your settings. Turn it on, buddy.
All right. Yeah. It usually is on. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I discovered that's not always the case. That's happened to me, and
yes, it has. All of us.
Your ceiling fan is freaking me out, man.
Yeah. I'll turn that off.
We're gonna have an epileptic seizure over here.
Am I good now?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yep, that does sound better.
Although
Okay.
when he gets right in the right spot, he looks like he's got a little halo.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, don't move. Hold it right there. Yeah, that's perfect.
You have a
I don't
halo,
think
and I'm
it's-
like deer in a
Here.
Hold
headlight.
on.
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. I could turn it off too if you guys want me to. I don't.
I'm
No,
fine. We're
no,
good.
that's awesome.
We're good. All right, so just a reminder, mute your phones. If you need to mute your mic, if there's any noise going on in the background or you have to cough or something like that. I don't know if, Hank, if you can do that for you because you're on your phone, but I think everybody else knows how to mute if they have to. Keep your mic close to you if you can. Great. Head it towards the top of the screen. Everybody looks good there. If you get knocked off, just reconnect to the link we had. And then just a reminder, if you're setting your drinks down, be gentle or get a soft coaster or something like that so we don't hear a bunch of
Banging.
like that.
Yeah, okay.
And happy hour. We'll get to the point. What are you drinking? We just need to hear your voice. So, we ready?
Ready to go.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
So, we got the intro. We got our happy hour introduction of the co-hosts. Then, Dina, I'm turning it over to you with Hank to do his intro. And then near the bottom of the hour at some point, we'll do the lightning round and take a break. So, yeah, good to go there.
No. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much.
All right.
They're clapping for you, man.
Should we roll it? Everybody ready? Hank, are you ready?
Ready.
Let's make it happen.
Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast. If you happen to be checking us out for the first time, thanks for tuning us in. You could always go to stormfrontfreaks.com to check out some of the previous shows, peruse some of the previous weather guests that we've had on the show. We've had a lot of great ones, and tonight's going to be no different. This is episode 58 tonight, and we're excited to have the man, the legend, that is Pecos Hank Schyma is going to be with us tonight. He is a Texas storm chaser and musician. We'll be talking everything from tornadoes to country western blues. He'll be playing our Elvis-themed lightning round. We've got some new Mythbusters segments tonight, and we'll finish with our favorite WX resources and throw some more weather fools under the bus. But before we get to that, I just want to let everybody know we're excited to be partnered with HelicityDesigns.com. They are the leader in weather-themed clothing and accessories for the storm freaking you. You got to check these guys out. They got some great stuff. And besides all their great selections of T-shirts, shoes. They've got outerwear, swimsuits, all kinds of stuff for your car and vehicle. They also carry an exclusive line of Stormfront Freaks gear. And remember, you can get a 5% discount on your entire order when you use the code PODCAST, PODCAST. Use that code at checkout, get a 5% discount, and you can find it all at HelicityDesigns.com, and we'll make sure we include that link in our show notes. So let's go ahead and introduce our co-hosts on the show this evening. It's always happy hour when we record, and so go ahead and step up to the bar. MJ, by the way, happy early birthday.
Hey, thank you.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, but what are you drinking, MJ?
Tonight, I have a Leinenkugels again. It's we call it Leinie's. This is an orange shandy. Kind of tasty, a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Tasty, very tasty.
You don't look 60. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Nah, I wear it well.
jeez.
All right, Maz. Maz, what are you drinking tonight?
I am having a bit of the captain here.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
he's
And-
hitting it harder.
And
it's
diet.
almost gone. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and then Brady, I think it's a belated happy birthday, correct? What are you drinking?
You know, I'm drinking a little bit of white wine tonight, and Phil, I swear that audience sounds familiar to last time. I don't know if they're the same people you keep bringing in.
Well, we do. We have like a VIP section, so they tend to like to come back on a regular basis, and so yeah, we'll give them seats in the audience, not a problem. All right, Dina, what are you drinking this evening?
I'm not fancy tonight. I just have a Michelob. But I've been drinking for a while. I made barbecue. It's good.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Well, let's go ahead and get to our esteemed guest this evening. Dean, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Tonight we welcome Hank Schyma, also known as Pecos Hank. He's a musician, songwriter, filmmaker, and professional storm chaser based in Houston, Texas. He's fronted the rock group Southern Backtones and now the Pecos Hank Band. During the same period, he has directed, produced, and starred in a full-length independent film, several music videos, and a catalog of storm and nature documentation on the Weather Channel, Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and more. He's also served as a storm consultant on a major motion picture, The Last Witch Hunter, with Vin Diesel. Very cool.
Nice.
So, Hank, you're in Houston, so obviously you were around for Hurricane Harvey, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, I was being chased, so the storm was coming to my home. And so rather than go out and get footage, I kind of wanted to be with Mom and my wife to make sure our property and our stuff wasn't messed up. The last thing, I didn't want to go off and chase it and then get separated from them. So I got nothing to say about it except for we just sat and watched the water rise and rise and rise. And luckily, all of my family and friends, most of them came out okay. But for a third of the city, man, it was terrible. They lost everything. Not a lot of lives lost, but all the property that they worked hard for. Places that have never flooded. I mean, in the history of Houston, flooded, up to 8 feet in their house, and so but a lot of that stuff was replaceable. I had one guy, a friend of mine, who collected things, and he just, for his whole life, he like hoards and collects old things and old vintage stuff, and so he lost everything. Yeah, everybody else is getting their stuff back, getting their carpet back, getting their walls back, but he did lose everything.
That's so sad. I think I did read that it is the worst flood event in recorded history in America, if I believe it. Yeah.
We're going to claim that here, whether it is or not.
I think that's true, but man, that had to be rough, especially you're trying to protect your own family. What do? Were you at home, or did you try to get the family out, or what?
No, we just hoped that we were in high ground, and we've never had flooding before, but this was different. I mean, we're getting massive floods here, once every decade, but this was, and we've had ones that were close. Tropical Storm Allison was just a stationary low that just stopped on us and just sat, and so a lot of people lost. And this one maybe barely beat that one, but so yeah, it was terrible.
That is that's the coolest picture behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You got.
Yeah, I was going to say that picture's awesome.
Which one? The girl here with the knife?
Don't get me in trouble,
Did
man.
you take that? Did you take that picture behind you?
Yeah, that's
my gosh.
That's the May 24th. There's 2 of them over here.
Wow.
And that's the second significant tornado, the EF3 of the day. And
Wow.
yeah, I just did a lecture in Ohio University, and Tim Marshall. We were on Facebook after this event, and Tim Marshall was saying that this was one of the most incredible things he'd ever seen. So it's special if Tim Marshall says something like that, right?
I
and
would
then right
say.
underneath that, some guy wrote, "This was the first time I ever went storm chasing."
They're all like that.
Yeah, right. For those of you who don't know, the May 24th, 2016 Dodge City cyclic supercell was dropping photogenic, high-based, well-lit tornadoes, one after another, 2 and 3 on the ground over, not killing anybody on a good road network. So it was something I have waited for and dreamed of my whole life. And so I can die happy.
Yeah. So Hank, I always love to ask this question on the show because I think it gives pretty good insight about their background. But I think you're, one of the have more of a diverse background than most of the people on here. What got you interested in weather and music, and how did that kind of all come about? And did you grow up and want to be a songwriter? Did you want to grow up being a weatherman, or was it kind of both?
Man, it was both. I was a photographer, and I always documented everything. There's a turtle, let's document it. There's a frog, let's document it. And lightning was the elusive thing that you couldn't get, and I remember getting a long negative strike one time. I actually got it, didn't have the branches. And I was like, I got a picture of lightning on 110 film, grainy. And it wasn't until I was about, maybe I was really heavily inspired by Warren Fadley. You guys remember Warren Fadley?
A little bit.
I don't think so.
He was one of the first, maybe the second generation storm chasers that kind of was really good at marketing himself. And so he had a book on the Weather Channel. He had you'd see him talking about, but his photography was beautiful. You've probably seen a lot of his stuff out of Arizona, is where he's based out of, and the lightning. So I went after lightning and started documenting lightning. And then eventually, once you kind of get good at that, you go on to tornadoes.
I've read, Hank, that you like to chase alone. I guess why is that, and what challenges have you come across maybe because of that?
Is that a George Thorogood song? I chase alone.
No, it's gonna be our song. I chase alone.
Maybe because do you like to sing in the car? And
oh man, yeah, I think it's all of the above. I might not be a friendly guy to travel with. If you're slowing me down, I mean, you guys can imagine. Okay, if you bring somebody with you and the sirens are going off and they're shopping, they can't decide what candy bar they want. What do you say? Do you go, "Excuse me," or do you bark?
You say, "Hurry your ass up."
Right. And then they pout the rest of the trip, and I'm just like, screw this.
But you got to run into issues though with challenges of having to navigate and drive and have a lookout of the radar and all that stuff. And then when you get to a location and getting all your equipment out, and have you had issues with that in the past?
Yeah, I think so. I've been doing this a long time, and so I probably started really, really, really slow and gradually kind of honed in my whatever you call it, my
routine.
Thank you. And so I have a very simple system. I don't have a computer to the right. I have a pad and a tablet, whatever they're called, and an iPhone here, and they're right there. And so I tell myself, glance, don't stare. That's when you can get in trouble, is you start looking at that for rotation that isn't there. And then I have everything is set to where I don't have to take my eyes off the road at all. I can grab a camera over here. I can put it on my tripod here. I can play with all this while keeping my eyes on the road as much as possible. Of course, I do turn away. I'll tell you guys one story. I used to brag about, I remember Margaret Thatcher said, "Sleeping is for wimps," in one of her documentaries or movies. And I was like, yeah, sleeping's for wimps. And I used to think I was tough because I could go these long stretches without sleep, doing coffee and sunflower seeds, by the way, an excellent way to keep yourself awake. And one day I was driving, and I had a friend in a co-pilot with me, and I just picked up a map and just started reading it at the wheel. And so if you can stay awake, but your brain will do. And so that was a big wake up call for me to take a break, try to live to fight another day. If we can stay alive, to do this for decades, I think I tell myself then, we'll get more footage if we can stay alive. So I try to remind myself that.
That's what cruise control's for, isn't it? Just set it and forget it.
Well, I hear they have these cars that drive themselves.
Oh, that would be so cool, wouldn't it?
Do they have tornado sensors though to not drive into the middle of a tornado?
You can disable them. I hear you have to lift under the hood and disable them
with the scissors. Yeah, that would be good.
It's the blue wire, not the green wire.
Oh, geez. Do you ever tell people like where you're going to be just for safety purposes? I mean, I'm checking in maybe with the wife or a friend or somebody.
No, I never know where I'm going to be. That's one of the things I would advise people on storm chasing is don't commit to a spot until it's time to commit. People say, I'm going to be in Kansas City on day 3. It's like, how do you know? I mean, you go there and then, and what happens is if you commit to an area early, you become, you start looking for confirmation bias so leave it open until it's time. So I never know where I'm going.
Although I think if I was your wife, I'd probably have a GPS locator on your phone that I could track. So I know where you are. Not for anything bad, just so I know you're safe.
No, there's a thing called Friend Finder. You guys familiar with Friend Finder?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Like a dog tracker.
Yeah.
Find my friends.
Yeah, I can pop up anytime and I can find out where Craig is. But a lot of people aren't cool with that. They don't want you to know where they are all the time.
Especially girlfriends.
Right. Yeah. Like, that sounds.
Well, you can turn it on and off. So when you're chasing, turn it on.
Like girlfriends.
You don't forget to turn it on.
I don't mind. But yeah.
Yeah.
So equipment wise, then Hank, what do you use? What do you have in your vehicle when you're out chasing?
I try to go bare bones. Remember when Wi-Fi was starting to catch on, and suddenly you've got access to all this mesoscale analysis. I mean, just boom, boom. You don't have to stop at libraries anymore. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you can find out what the helicity is, and you can find out, all this. And I caught myself, this was in 2007 when my equipment finally caught up. Other guys were probably doing this more. I caught myself staring at a computer more than looking at the sky. And was choosing what the computer told me to do when clearly that was the storm. But that's not in a more, tornado efficient environment, but it's a bigger storm. And I would go with what the computer said to do. And so finally I put an end to that. I'm a big advocate of use your eyes, for those of us that have chased before, Wi-Fi, you would just drive out into a slight risk area and just stare at the sky. Hopefully it was a clear day. You see the towers go up, and then you go to the mesocyclone, and that's how we got our tornadoes back then. And so I have very minimal. I'm making this a long question. I have very minimal stuff. I've got a tablet, a phone with 2 different screens on, a weather radio that I bought 15 years ago, and then that's it. Cameras.
You use a weather radio.
Yeah.
So what kind of information are you getting off of that?
He'll tell you cell speeds, so you don't have to calculate them. That's the one good thing he's for, because obviously you get your warnings. But he'll say it's moving this fast, and he's moving northwest at this. He'll just one more voice talking to you.
So Hank, that's a pretty good segue into my next question. So where did you get this weather knowledge? Was it just, you just going out and looking at storms and kind of getting a feel for them, and then, going up and looking it up, or where did it come from?
It started with surfing. When I was 18, I moved out to Los Angeles to be a rock star, but I ended up delivering pizza instead. and
was it good pizza? Was it good pizza?
It was terrible. To this day, I can't eat. I was a pizza delivery boy at Pizza Hut, and to this day, I can't eat Pizza Hut.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Our next sponsor.
I know. Dawn.
Nope. Right. So, but I can do Papa John's. Oh, wait, can we? He's kind of a jerk.
Gonna have to censor that one out.
Right. Okay, censor that out. I didn't say anything. But anyway, so surfing. Then I moved back to Houston after failing at being a rock star out there, and fell in love with surfing. And then I found out you can surf in Houston if you watch the weather. So you get winds coming out of the southeast and the Gulf at 20 knots for a couple days, and you got this really choppy wind swell happening. And then right when a cold front comes through, or any kind of front, you get these clean waves in Texas for this short window of about 3 hours. And so I'm always was watching that. And then I was fortunate enough, I was a photographer at CBS, and I was fortunate enough to work with Dr. Neil Frank and 2 other meteorologists, Mario Gomez and David Paul. And when you're a photographer at CBS, you don't do anything. You just sit around all day. And I would just pull on their shirts and ask them questions. And to this day, they cut my teeth. The basics that they taught me, I still use the same things they taught me 25 years ago. And then you go to stormtrack.org and you pick up different things along the way, and then of course the college textbooks are great.
Yeah,
which you can read while you're driving, I hear.
Right. Well, now you have the audiobook.
Yeah, get an audiobook and listen to it.
I wish they had weather textbooks too. Oh my gosh, that would be so great.
Although you can't see all the pictures and the diagrams and the skew-tees and all that craziness.
Yeah, Hank, I think you hit on a really good point. I think, especially, I don't want to get too much into this, but especially kids in schools, there needs to be much more of kind of what you do, getting out in the field and getting some field experience. Because really, book knowledge is only so much you can do. You have to develop kind of that instinct, not only for storm chasing, for forecasting. I mean, so much of it is instinct sometimes, because the models are all over the place. So, I think that what you've done is you've done it the right way. So it's really awesome.
So how much of that, Hank, are you using on your target day, like to pick out your target? What information are you using?
I'll use the anything. I probably one day I'll use the NAM. Most of the days I'll start off with the wrap, and I don't even know if that's what everybody's doing. I've just been doing that so long. I'll start off with the wrap, and I'll do a mesoanalysis. And then I'll do the HER on top of that. I'll draw little circles of the HER throughout the day. And one of the things that I do, I don't know if everybody does this, but I print out little maps and draw it out. And it's like remembering something. Like if you're trying to remember song lyrics, if you write it out, you remember it. So by drawing my isobars and drawing my isotherms, I kind of remember an idea, and that might be something that helps. I don't know.
Definitely writing anything out. It's like how I studied. Once you write it out, it's much easier to remember.
Right. I can remember cheating in college, and I would take a pen and I could fit all of my chemistry formulas on a pen. Sorry that I'm not bragging.
Was that like your cheat sheet?
Yeah, but by the time you finished writing them out, you learned them, and then you didn't need to use it.
University line 1.
They're following up on you.
So I ended up not cheating.
Good. That's good. That's what they heard too. So that's good. So all right. So May 31st, 2013, El Reno, Oklahoma. Wildest, it's craziest and the widest tornado in history. Killed 8. 4 of them were storm chasers. Injured 151. You were there. Fill us in a little bit on your day leading up to that and what you saw.
Well, I was lucky in that I was there early, so I didn't have a commute. Even though I was there waiting. So when you've got time, as you guys know, if you're not driving, it's harder to look at all the data. So I was just sitting there looking at the data, and I even pulled out my map of El Reno area, and I marked all the bridges because I still use paper maps, and I like to write on them notes while I'm chasing. And so I highlight all the bridges across the Canadian River, and so I was just really prepared, and I was in the perfect location prior to initiation. And, the storm, the initial cell mode was northeast, and then it was east, and, then it went tornado warned, and they were saying it was east southeast, but then I'm looking at it going, man, this thing's coming almost due south, so I was there well prepared and in the right spot. So I didn't get caught in the mess as many other people did that might have been traveling, had to punch the core, coming from the north and to come out of the rain and maybe be a little disoriented. I was in a good spot. But even when I decided to turn and run, the RFD was swinging the back end of my tail out, and I was
Oh, really? Man.
Just in a clear, I mean, I was probably, at least a half a mile away from the mesocyclone at that point. And still,
It was still whipping you back and forth?
Yeah, it was slinging my back end out from underneath me. And then I stopped to help a lady, and so that put me behind. I thought something terrible had happened, but she was just panicking and wanted to know if her family was okay. And so I made a phone call for her, and then so I really didn't get great.
Where'd you come across her? Where'd you see her?
When I was once the storm dropped, and I got some footage of the first suction vortices, then I bailed and ran south, and then I took a road going. Were you there?
Oh,
okay.
No,
took one of the paved roads going east, and I saw this lady in the road doing this, and everybody was just driving around her, like, get out of the way, lady. And I thought, oh my God, what's what happened to her? And you can even tell in the video, people go, you sound kind of like a jerk. And I was a little I was a little disappointed that she just wanted to use the phone, which is good. I'm glad she wasn't hurt. But I stopped thinking, oh my God, something terrible's happened. She goes, I need to use my phone. So I made a call for her. And,
so was she trying to flag people down?
Yeah, but she was standing in the road trying to. Yeah, and I mean, I thought, yeah, something terrible did happen. Or she was worried about her grandchildren that were possibly in the path of the tornado.
Well,
and at this time, I didn't know it was that bad. At this time, I thought, oh man, this, it was suction vortices. And I remember going, what am I looking at? Like, okay, just film it. At this time, I don't even have any idea of what the scale of this storm was.
Wow.
So what have been some of you've obviously been involved in a lot of other weather projects, Hank, film, video, photography. What have been some of your favorites?
Man, I tell you right now, I'm working on a couple things that I'm not even working is a major overstatement, but basically the guys that are doing some awesome stuff I get to talk to, and one of those is Dr. Lee Orff. I just get to chat with him about his models and his modeling the supercell growing thunderstorms, at 30-kilometer resolution, 20-kilometer resolution. Are you guys familiar with Dr. Lee Orff's work?
The name sounds somewhat familiar, but I don't know.
No.
Oh man, wait till you see his stuff. Go to his YouTube channel after this. Dr. Lee, Leigh, last name Orf, and watch his simulations of supercells at 20 meter, resolution and 30 meter resolution, and it will blow your mind. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to validate his models by dovetailing my footage with his simulations.
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
That's
so cool. I saw his supercells and was like, this is beautiful. And I've seen that, and I've seen that, and I've seen that. And so he was like, well, show me. And so I'm collaborating with him a little bit by doing that.
Will you set it to music that you actually write?
Well, that's up to him, but he can write music too. So he's a musician as well. So, but anything that I do, it saves a lot of copyright infringement if you just write the music yourself.
Well, let's talk music. Here's my first question, because I've listened to you, love it. But what do you call your musical style? What do you call that? Because it's obviously unique. It's a mix. Yeah, it is.
It's I like old spaghetti westerns. Was a huge influence of mine when I was a kid. Anything with Clint Eastwood in was my favorite movie. I've watched them hundreds of times. And then I love surf music. Old rockabilly, Elvis. I love Elvis. So it's a mixture of all that. Spaghetti western, rockabilly, voodoo. Let's call it that.
Stray Cats, maybe.
So
yeah, a little Stray Cats are traditional rockabilly.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit of that, and then also I love gypsy jazz. If you guys are familiar with gypsy jazz.
Was that Cher? Was that Cher?
Beyonce, actually. Beyonce's well known for her gypsy jazz.
Well, so then tell me, is there any connection? You got music, you got storm chasing. Have you connected those yet? Are there connections that you've made between those?
The weird thing is that they connected, because on YouTube, I'm getting views because of my tornadoes, but I'm scoring the tornadoes with my music, which is selling songs that I wrote 20 years ago. So somehow these two crazy things have connected. And that's one of the weird things about social media nowadays. One of my favorite examples is there's a guy his passion in life was marbles. And he's got this viral YouTube channel of him doing marble races. And it's funny. It's actually hilarious. He's so into marbles that you watch it and you cheer for him. And so, yeah, that's where we've come.
Does he still have them, or has he lost them? No, sorry. I had to.
We need the drums. We need the drums, Phil. Do you have a drum?
Oh, that was great. We should have all seen that coming, and we didn't.
Man,
Yes,
I saw it coming.
You've got a monopoly. You've got a monopoly on the music and on the storm chasing combination there. That's good. Money making venture. So we'll do this. We'll keep rolling. First off, Hank, how can listeners find you and follow you, and also where can they find your music? I think before we're done, we're going to have you jump on your guitar, but for right now, where can people find you and your music?
First off, I don't like people following me. That's why I don't have a car with a bunch of anemometers
He doesn't want
on it. I don't want you to follow me, right?
Stay away.
That's why I drive the most boring unmarked car in the world. I don't want people to follow me.
All right, so how can they find your music then? Something.
Just Google Pecos Hank. Yeah, Google Pecos Hank. And there's PecosHank.com. There's the Pecos Hank YouTube channel, and you should be able to take it from there.
I was actually afraid for a moment. I'm like, is he really serious?
Well, he's got Find My Friend, so he's not. He's
really.
All right. Well, hey, it's time for lightning round. This is our game show of brilliant questions for our guest. We always invite everybody to play along if you're listening. But here's what we're gonna do tonight. Tonight, we're gonna do our own little. We've done this before. Rendition of Family Feud. And so, but here's what we're going to do. So we got to fill Hank a little bit on how we do this.
I've seen the show.
Well, you've seen the show, but here's how we're going to do this. You are one family. So you are your own family, and then you're competing against the Freaks, right? So they're another family. So what I'm going to do, we've got our top 10 answers on the board, and I'm going to have you give an answer. I'm going to have the Freaks pick an answer, and whoever's got the highest answer has the option of taking the whole thing and trying to guess them all before 3 strikes, or they can pass it if they want to pass it, and then the other team has to guess them all before 3 strikes. Otherwise, the other individual just has to guess one of the remaining answers on the board, right?
You know, he does play alone. I'm just saying.
That's true. This might not be an issue. So here's what we're gonna do.
But I'm just gonna nod.
Okay, so here's what it is. So it's Family Feud. And the top 10 answers are on the board. This is the Rolling Stone Readers Poll of the top 10 best Elvis songs. So you said you are a fan of Elvis. We're going to see how you guys play along with the Rolling Stone Readers. So I'm going to do this first. I'm going to have you, Hank, go ahead and pick one that you think is in the top 10 best Elvis songs. We'll see where it lies.
I'm going to throw out Suspicious Minds, baby.
And that is number 1. That is number 1.
Well.
Wow.
So very good. All right. So Freaks, you're not going to get any better than that. So
nope.
Hank, it's going to go to you. You can either take the whole thing and try and run with it.
Take the whole thing, man.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So you got 9 more on the board.
All right. Let's do Love Me Tender. Let's do Heartbreak Hotel.
Whoa. Hold on. What was it? Love Me Tender. That was number 6. Let's do
Heartbreak Hotel.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah.
That is number 7 on the board.
And my least favorite Elvis song, In the Ghetto.
In the Ghetto?
I hope it's not on there.
Number 3. That is number 3. Why don't you like that song? That's not bad.
I don't like that song. Viva Las Vegas.
That's a good one, but is that... Okay, go ahead. Is that one of your answers?
Yeah.
All right, do we have Viva Las Vegas? No, we do not.
Ooh.
Strike number 1.
Okay,
So you have on the board, you still have number 2, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10.
It's Now or Never.
It's Now or Never. That is not on the board.
Okay.
You got 2 strikes.
Don't Be Cruel.
Don't Be Cruel.
That's a ding.
Is that on the board?
Yes.
That is
we got a chance.
Wow.
All right,
Blue Christmas.
Don't give him any. Don't give him any. So we're going over to the freaks. Freaks, you just have to guess one. You've got number 2, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10 on the board.
I got one.
Dina thinks she's
Love Me Tender.
Talk it over. You guys want to talk it over?
What do you got?
Can we talk it over?
Yes.
Yeah, you can talk it
How
over.
about Jailhouse Rock?
Love Me Do.
I actually think that's a good one.
Number 2.
I Love
Is
Me
that
Tender.
Elvis, though? Are we sure that's Elvis?
Yes.
Jailhouse Rock is
Yeah, don't
Elvis.
listen to Brady.
Love
All
Me
right, is that
Tender.
your answer?
What do you think, Maz?
I think Love Me Tender because the girls are probably the ones that are ranking it.
Love Me Tender was out. He already got that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So
Oh, see, what's a good
Minds
one?
in the
Jailhouse
Ghetto,
Rock.
Love Me Tender, and Heartbreak Hotel were already on there.
All right, go for it, Dina. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Jailhouse Rock.
Jailhouse Rock, is it on the board?
Yeah.
It is. That is number 4. So great. So that's awesome. So the freaks, you got it. You
Wow.
beat Hank.
That was the
We
only
got
one I
lucky.
knew that he.
I don't know if
that
that
he
game's
didn't say.
fair. I mean, we used to get all of them. We just have to get one. That doesn't seem
I
fair.
know.
Hey,
he
that's how
got-
Family Feud. That's how it works.
Interesting.
All right. So I'll fill you in on what the other ones are. Number
Hound
2.
Dog. Hound Dog.
Oh, sing it. Wait, sing
It
it.
is not.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog, hound dog.
That's that one's not
That
on
was
there. Here we
good,
go.
though.
So
Wow.
number 2, If I Can Dream.
What?
If I Can Dream.
Okay.
Do you know that one, Hank?
No, I don't know.
Number 5, But I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. All right, number 8, An American Trilogy, which is a classic. That's kind of a classic Elvis. I don't know that it was a big hit, but it was a live. He did that live quite a bit. All right, number 9, you meteorologist, for crying out loud, Kentucky Rain.
Oh, yes.
And then number 10 on Rolling Stone Reader's poll for the top 10 best Elvis songs, it is Mystery Train. Mystery Train.
Train.
What prize are we
so,
getting?
all right.
Phil?
So that was it. Well, we always hand out pride, but I don't know. We left a lot on the
He
board.
won. He got most of them.
Yeah, he did.
That wasn't bad. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a short break. Stay right here. Let's see how well you're gonna do with our new MythBusters segment that we have coming up next.
Hey, can he sing us to break?
Too late now, but he can sing a song. Here's what I'm gonna have you do.
All right.
Yeah, well, you should have asked that before we went to break.
Sorry, I didn't know you were so fast on the button.
Oh man! All
Are
right,
we on break?
we are on break.
I'm going to try to do something. I think I'm using Wi-Fi because it keeps popping up on my screen that I'm using a lot of data right now.
Okay.
So
Oh,
let me
whoops.
make sure if I can figure this out, how to turn on my Wi-Fi.
It's been good.
Okay, right. Let's see here.
That's a great
Oh, no.
picture.
No, I
Wi-Fi
adjusted
is
your
on.
volume, Dina, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You're fine. I'll do it again a little bit.
Wi-Fi is on, so we're good.
Is she a little hot now?
Maybe when I was
Still been hearing
singing,
the
he
hum?
turned my. It's on and off.
Yeah, I don't hear it at all.
No.
I don't know if it might have been me, so I started muting myself more often.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard it in a
I
little
hear,
while.
I hear it. Maybe coming from Maz now.
Oh, sorry.
Well, he was humming.
I'm over here shaving. Oh, sorry,
Jeez.
sorry.
Hey, does everybody have their MythBusters?
Yes.
Dina's
I think
good.
so.
Yeah, they're not written, but I got them. Yeah.
Mark.
We
Brady?
probably should make sure they're not the same though.
Nah.
Well,
Let's just jump into it.
Here's the case. So I told you to bring 2, right? Did everybody
Right.
bring 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my plan is we'll go around the horn and have everybody do at least one first.
Okay.
And the idea being and I'll start it off, just kind of help lead it a little bit, but the idea is throw the myth out there, and then certainly you could jump in and say whatever you want to say, yes or no, or I don't think so, or yeah, or say nothing at all. But throw the myth out there, and then of course on MythBusters, the myth is either busted, it's a myth, it's not true, it's plausible, meaning it could be sometimes but not all the times, or it's confirmed, meaning it's true. That's a true thing, true myth, true statement, is the plan. Hank, you back?
I'm back.
Are you on Wi-Fi now?
I was on Wi-Fi the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
To me.
You were always coming across fine, so I.
Yeah, it looks good.
What's all that data coming from then?
Was that a joke?
He's gambling in the back. He's got slot machines
And
going.
by the way,
and everything.
if you guys have 2 and someone steals both of yours, there's a link in the chat with 25. So, Dina, you might have actually written that article. You did.
Weather myth faux pas.
Weather
All right,
myth.
so
I'm
so
using
don't
one of
share.
those, so
don't share
don't
what
do
it
that.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't. I was just giving people.
We'll just go around and if someone took one of yours, then use the other one. And if by the time we get to you, both yours have been used up, just say, well, hey, Maz had my whatever, and and then next time just do a better job of finding unique myths.
You suck. You took mine.
The same ones. All
Hey,
right, so Hank,
somebody took my WX resources. I'm just telling you right now.
Hank, will you do me a favor and give me a plug? And if you want, you can sing this.
All right.
Right, but just do
Ooh.
a plug. Just say, hey, this is Storm Chaser Pecos Hank Schyma, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. You can say it or sing it. I don't care. You can play it.
All right. Let's give one a whirl. Let's see what happens. Hello, everyone. This is Pecos Hank Schyma, and you're watching Stormfront Freaks. No, you're listening, right? Are we listening or
listening?
watching?
Let's say listening, because that's
All
usually
right,
what we use
all right.
it on.
Hello, this is Hank Schyma, and you're watching Stormfront. You're listening. All right, one more time. Hello, everyone. This is Pecos Hank Schyma, and you're listening to Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Very good. Perfect.
Did I get it?
Woo!
That's good.
Good job.
Well done.
Asking me to
Appreciate it.
sing that and remember all those words at once. Woo.
I know. I think that would be fun. That would be good. We'd
You
get
better-
some
in an
bloopers out of
Elvis
that.
voice. That would be good.
You better sing it good or you'll be flat.
Oh,
Oh,
Maz is on fire.
he's not.
It's actually from the Goonies, so something like that.
Okay.
Movie.
Wow, you're pulling out the Goonies tonight.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's right, Chunk.
All right, so here's what we'll do. We come back from break, and I will introduce our Mythbusters. So this is kind of new. I will introduce that, and then, as I was mentioned, I'll start one off, and I'll give a myth, and you guys can say what you've heard or what you haven't heard about it, and then I'll respond. Obviously, if it's a confirmed, it's a true myth, or if it's busted, it's a bad myth, or plausible, hey, it could be, couldn't be. That's how they do it on the Mythbusters. So we'll do that, and then I'll just go around the horn. I'll say, all right, Maz, what do you got? And Hank, do you have a myth?
Yes, I
Okay.
have one that might not be a myth that I would actually like to discuss, and you guys could educate me on it.
Oh wow. Okay.
He looks ready to talk about
Pressure's
it.
on. So
Yeah.
all
Do you
right.
want to be surprised, or do you want me to give you a heads up?
Surprise us. What the hell?
Okay.
It's always interesting.
Why not?
Yep. We won't
Yeah.
we won't share each other's what they are. It's always fun to kind of get everybody's reaction. So all right, so we'll do that. We'll go around the horn once, and then we'll see how much time we have. If we have enough time, if it's going fast, we'll go around the horn a second time. If you got a second one, and everybody's got two except Hank. Is that right? Yes. Okay.
I have two.
So we have enough to go around the horn. I'll just make sure I don't ask Hank, oh, what's your second one? And didn't have one, Phil. Okay, moving on.
Thanks a lot, Phil.
Thanks a lot. And then
That's when you sing.
and then we'll take our final, and then we'll take the final break after our Mythbusters before our final segment. Okay. Let me pull up my sound effects.
You are getting a lot of stuff in the background, Phil. I expect you to have Pecos's picture behind you next time.
Well, that's why I asked him about that. I'm like, where'd he get it? How much you pay for it? Where's the printer? Because if they're printing one off, I'll sneak in and with a green marker and make a little green mark so I can get it for $50.
No doubt.
$19 at
Do
Walgreens.
All right, go ahead and count me in, MJ.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back. Hey, it's time for our version of the popular Discovery Channel show Mythbusters. We haven't done this before. This is kind of a new segment we're starting tonight. And, of course, our myths and our urban legends, they're going to be more focused on storms and weather. And so we'll kind of see if you think that these myths are busted, plausible, or if they're confirmed and might be true. Okay, and that's kind of the goal. And as a listener, you can kind of decide if you've heard them before and if you believe in them or don't believe in them, and we'll try and correct them. This is really, I should call this our Weather Ready Nation Mythbusters segment, because this will kind of help educate a little bit as well. So I'm going to start things off with the first myth, and that is the low pressure that a tornado causes and creates. It can cause buildings and homes to explode. So by opening the windows of your home, that's going to equalize the pressure in your home to hopefully prevent, maybe saving your building a little bit if it's near the tornado, or prevent the roof from popping off if the pressure gets too low. If you've heard of that myth, I heard that myth growing up, that hey, maybe try and open the windows when there was potential bad weather. Have you guys heard that one before?
Of course.
Oh,
yeah.
Everybody. Now, did any of you follow that when you were kids or younger? Were your families doing that?
Yeah.
I didn't get the opportunity to follow it.
Why is that?
Because my house never got hit by a tornado.
Oh, you were not. Where were you? Where'd you grow up?
Dallas and Houston.
Really?
Really?
And you were never in a situation. Wow. Okay.
Moved to Oklahoma City, man.
I know. That's what I tell everybody.
All right. So you're saying you guys are familiar with that, number one, and some of you have dealt with that growing up. Yes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay. Parents are like, oh, bad weather coming. Let's open the windows before hitting the basement. Well, most of you all know that myth is busted. Opening the windows in an attempt to equalize the pressure, it really has no effect. That's not going to prevent your house from blowing up. It certainly is not going to prevent your roof from coming off the structure. It's the violent winds, of course, the debris that causes most of that structural damage. So it's really more important to stay the heck away from the windows than it is to worry about taking the time to try and go around your home and actually open the windows. So that's my myth to add. And let's do this. Dina, let's go to you. What's your myth?
Okay. Rubber tires on your car protect you from lightning by insulating you from the ground.
I've heard that before.
Have you heard that one?
I have heard that too.
I mean,
I've heard it.
Yeah. Oh, did I lose sound?
No,
No.
you're there.
doesn't everybody know that? Like if
yeah.
it's lightning out, to go inside your car, get out and get in your car, because you got rubber on your tires, right?
Yeah,
No?
we've all heard that. But that is not true.
So you're saying that's busted? Okay.
That's busted.
So what's the truth?
Mainly it's the frame around the car, the metal around the car. It kind of acts like what we call a Faraday cage. It just brings all the current around you and doesn't touch you.
So what's a Faraday cage?
It's kind of like when it's something with conduction and electricity, where you could be inside of it and all the electricity and the current goes around you, and it's all the metal, but you're inside safe.
Google
Does that make
Tesla.
sense? Yeah.
It's very cool on YouTube. Very cool.
So you're still saying being in the car though can protect you from lightning?
It can, but it's not the tires.
It's just not the tires. So,
right.
So I might throw this out there. I might throw out that maybe that was a plausible myth, because there is protection in the car. It's just not from the tires.
Right. It's not from the tires. Everybody says that. I've heard that for a long time. Like,
and I'll share this because this was actually, Dina, this was one of the ones I was going to add too. There was, as a matter of fact, in 2014, there was a man that was struck and killed while riding a motorcycle by lightning, which kind of debunks the whole rubber tires.
mm-hmm.
And another was closing their car windows and was fatally struck by lightning. So that Faraday effect didn't.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
doesn't
it's
work
the
if you're
water.
driving. Yeah, if you're driving
If it's
top
pouring
down.
in,
Well, you can't touch metal either.
right? You can't touch the metal, but if water's coming in, that's going to conduct electricity. But the frame's going to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Just
insulate
make it,
almost.
flow around you.
Right. Shield.
Yeah, shield you. Yeah.
It's probably not the
All right.
best
Well,
word,
that was a good one. All right, Brady, what do you got?
All right. Well, so guys, myth. Wait. Okay. How do you do it again? Is it so my? Dang it! I just ruined it. Whatever.
We'll edit it out. Let's tell what your myth is. What's your myth?
So my myth is that water spouts and tornadoes are two different things.
Water spouts and tornadoes are two different things.
Kind of like land spouts and tornadoes are, or more like dust devils and tornadoes are two different things.
This could get kind of technical.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it could.
Right?
It's not going to get very technical.
Because they pretty much are the same kind of phenomenon, maybe. It's just, isn't it maybe what originates, how they're originated?
No.
Where they're located?
So the only difference between water spouts and tornadoes, that myth has been debunked, is that one is over water and one is over land. So people, often will see a water spout and think, oh, there's no way that's, if it comes onto land, it's going to dissipate or weaken. No, a water spout is just a tornado over water. So if you see one, take it seriously. For the love of God, don't drive your boat through it.
Well, so what about a dust devil then? Is dust devil and tornado same thing?
Yeah, because a dust
what's
devil. So I guess the difference between a dust devil and a tornado is that a tornado is inherited from a thunderstorm, whereas a dust devil is just caused by, thermal currents exactly rising up. So
Good job, Brady.
All right, so
Awesome.
busted.
No difference. All right, Maz, what do you got for a myth?
Okay, so you're driving down the interstate, and up ahead you see a tornado, and you're like, man, I got to hurry up and get to that interstate overpass because I know that is a safe shelter from a tornado.
I've seen a video where it is.
Seen video, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
people
that
took
one
shelter and they
too.
were fine.
The Kansas one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where it originated. You know what needs to happen is there needs to be a video where someone is visually seen getting sucked out of that thing
Yeah.
to their death for people to realize. Yeah.
We've got them.
I think you just
Really?
gave the answer away.
Not
Yeah.
visually sucked out, but saw what happened to the car that was underneath. It was actually May 24th, 2011. The tornado that was heading into Oklahoma City. What's the town to the southwest? Anyway, there's an overpass there, and somebody sought shelter.
You're like a weather librarian, man. Consult the card catalog.
I drove over that bridge, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
But isn't that crazy? Like, your first instinct is to take shelter, but that's the worst place you can be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the winds go faster because they're
Right.
compressed, just like a small river, like a river gets compressed at one point, goes faster. I've read articles where children were sucked out of their parents' arms, which is that's insane, isn't it?
Yeah. But what's interesting is everybody tries to get on it because they're thinking hail, and that's going to protect you from the hail. And of course, if you're near hail, you're probably near the most dangerous part of the storm anyway.
Well, that's one of my favorite weather fools is all the cars that are
yeah.
parked on the interstate under the bridge, preventing any other car from getting anywhere else because they've stopped the flow of traffic.
Yeah.
Right.
Morons. Yeah. All right. So Brady, that's we've busted that one, huh?
That was Maz.
No, and
but
Dina
thanks.
and Maz,
Yeah.
that was yours. Sorry.
You can call me all of those people.
That's all right. So all right. So that we'll call that one busted. Let's go and MJ. What do you got?
I think I'm going to use this one. I got a couple, but since we're talking about safety and we've had lightning in the car, how about the myth that you're 100% safe from lightning in your home?
I had that one too as a backup.
You have a
you
rubber
did.
basement because your basement's made out of rubber. Is that why?
But think about this: the key words 100%.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that here's a good question. Yeah, is there issues with I remember growing up, right? Don't be on the phone. This is
Right.
back with the
That
wired
is
phones.
Correct.
Don't be showering.
Correct.
Don't
Correct.
be taking a
Sorry.
bath. Okay. What other, so those are all correct. What
Anything
else?
that conducts
Anything that conducts
electricity.
electricity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, we'd get calls. Is it okay to be on my cell phone?
Yeah.
Wow. You get calls in the station?
Oh, yeah.
my
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, what people don't know too is, I mean, even if you're in your garage with your garage door open, or you're in an,
Oh, yeah.
in an outdoor space, or like a, almost like a picnic area with the roof over your head and it's open.
Yep.
By the way, somebody's listening, so I have to answer that. It's okay to be on your cell phone. It's not
Yes,
going
yes, it is.
because someone's going, well, is it or isn't it?
We
You
just
know?
laugh. Yeah, we didn't give an answer.
Sorry.
So that all right.
So
So busted.
busted. You are not 100% safe.
Not 100% safe.
You have to take a few sensible precautions.
I always worry about that when I'm getting up and getting ready for work, because all of a sudden, if you start hearing thunder and you're trying to take a shower, I don't want to be that meteorologist that gets zapped in my shower because I'm just too stupid to get out of it.
At Dina's funeral, we'll all have bring a weather fool to the table.
Yes, that's right.
Take a shower during a
Dina was showering. Yeah,
It's very sad.
Oh, well.
Very, very sad.
All right, so Hank, do you got a weather myth?
I think so. I'm gonna need your help with this one, either debunking it or helping prove it. And I'll just come out and say, ball lightning.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Man.
Anybody want to jump in on that one?
I say it's true.
It's true. You
True.
gotcha. Yeah. Self-contained lightning.
Is it so it's not an artifact from a CG? It's not a piece of silicone that's been blown in the air?
I talked to the Martians the other day, and they said it's false.
When they picked up Brady.
That's shocking.
Although I've never seen it, I do believe it. Yep.
Yep. Kind of like St. Elmo's fire, right? And the cows that have the arcing that would take place.
Has there been a study? Has there been a study about that, or has there been any visual
rare
documentation or anything? Because that's what I'm curious about.
About St. Elmo's fire or ball lightning?
Ball lightning. Ball lightning. I don't know St. Elmo's.
Well, I mentioned ball lightning on one of my videos, and everybody commented they've seen it.
Really?
Huh.
I mean, just boom. I saw it one time. I saw it one time. I saw it one time. I saw it one time.
Wow.
It just goes down and on and on and on and on.
Huh.
So it's kind of like UFOs. Everybody's seen one.
I've not seen it.
Bigfoot. Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like that. I feel like. Yeah, I don't know.
Hank, have you seen it?
No.
You have
But
not.
there is one video that popped up that is plausible, but that's just it. Is it just an artifact of a CG, like a bead or something that broke off, or is it a self-contained thing? But it's I made another statement one time that whenever there's a tornado, you know, like if you see a supercell on radar, you go to Twitter to see if there's a tornado, and boom, there's the tornado. It's anytime a tornado touches ground, there it is on Twitter, boom. But nobody can get a clear photo or video of ball lightning yet. So I want to believe it exists, and I want to find it, but no video with all of the cameras and all of nobody can get ball lightning.
Well, think how long it used to take to get sprites
Yeah.
on camera. So,
but sprites happen in an environment where we are not participating in all the time. Ball lightning is happening here in front of us with all the security cameras, with all the cell phones. Sprites are happening 50 miles, into the thermosphere. So
Brady's got Martian friends.
He passes it, yeah.
I'll text him real quick.
Yeah, I saw some of my first sprites this year, and the reason why we're not seeing sprites is because they have a parent positive CG flash, which is much brighter. So the positive CG lightning goes, hey, look over here, and then the sprite goes like that. So if you're looking for sprites, I mean, they're beautiful. They just, shoot up, but usually you get distracted.
Hey, speaking of shooting up, are we going to talk about the whole thing? No. Okay, that came out wrong. That's not what I meant.
I sure did.
No, I mean, sorry. Speaking of lightning shooting up from the ground, are we going to talk about that at all?
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
That is the coolest thing in the world. I'm telling you, man.
Crazy.
That is insane.
Let's just quick cover that. So ball lightning, Hank. Are we saying that's plausible? Are we confirming that it exists? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm kind of arguing that we might be wanting it to exist more than it does. I mean, I don't know.
I think for ratings sake, Phil, we should confirm it and make
I
that
like
to
it.
our audience.
I wanted to go back to school for it, but then you got to take so much electrical engineering and math. I'm like, forget it. Forget it. All that electrical, no.
So let's do this. So I'll come out and say it's plausible.
Plausible. I think that's
plausible.
Okay.
We don't have enough data yet on that. At least we don't. We don't have a lot of data,
right.
so it doesn't matter. But we'll finish with this one then, because this might be a good myth buster too. Is lightning is cloud to cloud or cloud to ground? Yes as Maz is chewing ice on his mic.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. I was into your question. I'm like, yeah.
Okay. So let me say that again. So let's finish with this last myth as we're talking about it. Lightning is cloud to cloud or cloud to ground, and lightning basically always starts in the atmosphere. Is right? Is that what we're saying? Is that a myth? Is that false or true?
That's false.
All right, so Hank, you were pretty strong on that. Why would you say that?
Well, we have well documented ground to cloud lightning that usually manifests. Yes, that strikes from tall objects, mountaintops, radio towers, and skyscrapers.
Can it start from the ground? Can it just go plain ground to cloud?
On a mountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
But think about it. It's just different charges from the ground to the cloud. So
what wasn't there video from the what do you call those? The wind turbine propellers?
Yeah.
Out in the plains where it actually starts
Hank,
from
you've gotten some, correct? You've seen that, or you've videotaped it?
14 of them at one time striking up from wind turbine.
But
That's
what
the
about
coolest.
the step leader? Like, you know how you see it and it goes from the ground up?
Well,
Is that what you mean?
Leaders. Yeah, they're leaders. You know, for the general public, you could say they would probably understand discharges better. But a lot of them are we have two types. I think we're calling them self-initiated upward leaders or initiated upward leaders. And so all of the upward lightning that I've documented, and I think the majority of it follows an initiation. Like there'll be a really powerful positive CG strike, and so the electric field changes erratically, and then that's what spawns these upward leaders.
Pecos, have you received any kind of an award yet for that? I'm not kidding. That is coolest.
The video.
The video.
Well, I'm working with the guys who are on it is Tom Warner, scientist Tom Warner, and then at University of Arizona, Ken Cummins, and I'm trying to give them all my information that I can about where I was, and I've triangulated all of my locations of where I was so that they can look at the NLDN, the National Lightning Detection Network, and try to really go to town on what's happening on this. And I'm hoping to, they're going to post the results too, and hopefully we can do some kind of collaboration where I can interview them for the Pecos Hank channel as well.
You need like a weather Olympic gold medal for that, or at least the silver.
Yeah. Silver.
Having the video is enough. I mean, this year was so lackluster for tornadoes, and that 1 second just made my whole year of 14 of them. I'd be honest with you guys, I was so excited I couldn't sleep for like 2 days after I saw that.
Wow.
It's like the ball lightning.
Yeah.
I didn't even. Yeah.
That's your next goal.
Yeah. So I want to see if we can get some ball lightning.
We gotta have ball lightning.
I'm very skeptical.
Phil, real quick, I just gotta say one more thing. I just gotta say one more thing. So to all of our viewers, please, for the love of God, heat lightning is not a thing. That is a myth. Please go out and tell all of your friends. I don't want anyone to ever ask me again if heat lightning is real, because it's not.
Nobody asks you that.
Is it real?
No, they do. My friends ask it to me all the time, and it makes me so mad.
All right. Well, hey, we're always interested in what you guys think. So let us know via email. You can always send us an email at questions@stormfrontfreaks.com. Or if there's a popular myth that you knew growing up as a child that you want us to cover on the next show, or you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And tag us your thoughts, and like I said, we'll share that on our next show. So we're going to take our final break. You can refill your drink. Yes, Dina, your mic does work. And when we come back, it's time to share our WX resources, and we'll bring some more weather fools to your attention. All right.
Sorry, I hit it.
Wait, now can you sing us to break?
Dina,
I want to hear some Elvis.
Yeah, we got to hear a song. You
guys don't want to go down that rabbit hole. You will have to turn the phone off, because I will not stop singing Elvis.
All right, let's hear something, man. Let's even if it's something from your album.
But first,
something
can I
you got.
go get a glass of water? You guys are all chugging down, and I didn't come prepared. So
Absolutely.
Go get it. I'll
Sure.
be right back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not drinking
Chugging down on the right kind of water right here. Got some wine, right?
Oh my God, he's trashed, and he had a little bit of wine.
That's the one. Ooh, I just saw some lightning. Oh, there's some
He
killer
said,
storms.
"Ooh, cats!"
Okay.
Cats in space.
Okay, and hey, I'm gonna let you guys know while Hank's out. So I'm going to starting next show. I'm gonna start taking out the discussion topic that we've had in the past, because we're running out of discussion. I'm running out of discussion ideas because we've kind of covered a ton of them.
Yeah.
We've covered 56 of them.
Wow.
Basically. So I want to kind of keep it a little fresh. So we've got Mythbusters, so we'll maybe have that a segment. We can do it another one later.
I like that.
We've got Weather Fools, we've got Weather Resources, we've got mean tweets that we can use at times. And I'll try and think of another one or two, and what I'm going to do is just, instead of, after the interview and lightning round, we take a break, we'll come back and we'll just do a segment or two and then be done. And so it's probably going to cut the show, instead of the show being an hour 15, hour 20 minutes, hour 10, hopefully cut the show to about an hour. But keep it fresh, just keep something new each show instead of the same interview, lightning round, discussion, Weather Fools, Weather Resources, right?
Weather karaoke. That's always a topic.
Weather karate chop.
Yeah, and I think if you guys ever see anything, right, that we haven't discussed, just bring it up and we could talk about it in the group me, and we maybe could do a discussion.
or top or segment ideas. Ultimately, my goal is we keep working this thing into kind of a Tonight Show, late show kind of thing, right? We have a guest, we got some different segments, we got and that's. So if you are watching the Tonight Show or Late Show, and you see something cool that Jimmy Fallon does or something that Jimmy Kimmel does, you're like, oh, we should try and do something weather-like with that, kind of like we did with Mean Tweets. Let me know, so that we can kind of keep different stuff going.
Past my bedtime, Phil. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Hank's
and
back.
Today
What
our musical guest is Pecos Hank.
Nice.
Do you have your guitar? Where's your guitar?
Guys, I'm not prepared. Here's one right here.
Oh.
No, I can't. Okay, here we go.
Wow.
All right. So I'm going to tell you, I think you need to play at least part of a song on your album so we can hear your music.
All right.
Something that maybe it can be your El Reno Blues, since there's a little weather theme to that. I don't know. It's up to you.
All right, that's a good one. Well, whenever you're ready, just say when.
All right.
When?
Go ahead. Stage is yours.
All right, man, get ready to work that microphone. So this is a song that I wrote about being sad on the road, tornado chasing, all alone all the time. And it goes like this. Well, since my baby left me, found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Lonely Street, down on Heartbreak Hotel. I get so lonely, I get so low. I well, although it's always crowded, you still can find some room. We're broken-hearted lovers who rock the way. I get so lonely, it'll be so lonely you could die.
Man, yeah, that is awesome. Hey, Pecos, Pecos.
You have an incredible
That is
voice.
awesome, man. I love Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash stole that song from me.
Ah.
That was good. That's actually a good storm chasing song too, actually.
Oh yeah.
It can be. Wow, that's good. So tell you what, on your concerts you play some Elvis? Do you cover some of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's always a great thing, because once we go down that, it just snowballs into Elvis and Elvis and Elvis and Elvis and Elvis. So yeah, we can do Elvis. And then one of the things, I started a festival on accident. One day, somebody said, hey, it's Elvis's birthday today. It was like a Tuesday rainy night. And I was like, no. And I was like, man, I know a bunch of Elvis songs. We should all get together and play. And they go, okay. And then I was the only one that showed up. And so I started playing Elvis songs at this little tiny bar, and people were in there, and they were and then this girl came up and she goes, did you know that it's also David Bowie's birthday? That Elvis Presley and David Bowie have the same birthday. And so I played Bowie songs that I know, and then it was fun, and we did it the next year, and then we did it the next year, and now it's this huge festival in Houston called Bowie Elvis Fest that happens on whatever weekend.
Awesome. That is cool.
Wow.
What was the Bowie song you sang? You remember?
Hey man, don't leave me alone.
Love that.
Woo!
Love that.
Wow.
Is this just coming off as screaming loud? Can you hear the?
It's pretty good.
It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I adjusted a little bit just to try and make it fit.
I'll tell you what you need, Hank. You need someone that knows how to play the recorder, and I've actually got some pretty extensive experience playing the recorder. So if you ever need someone with the recorder, just something.
Brady's looking for bandmates.
As long as you know how to hit the erase button.
Brady is one of the Von Trapp family left behind. So.
Yeah, if you could play a little Lord of the Rings with him, he'll make his day. He'll make his day. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. So are you Hank? You're sticking around with us, right, for this last part?
Yeah, of course. Heck yeah, you guys are hammered and a good time. So
good. All right. So and keep your guitar handy. You never know.
Okay. All right.
Well, so we'll come back, Maz. We got WX resources, and I will start. I've got one.
Okay.
Anybody else with a weather resource?
Sure.
I do.
Weather.
Oh, Dina. Okay.
Pretty confident Phil's going to steal mine, so I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah. Right. I know.
Yeah, there's no point in me
There's
bringing
only
it
a couple
up,
of them out there.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Hank, do you have a weather resource you'd want to share?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you guys are going to beat me to it. The one. You want me to go ahead and share it now?
No, but if you've got I'm like the one what?
Crickets.
We're talking about a tool like a site or an app.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Website, app, piece of equipment that you use a lot, all that kind of stuff.
I think Phil's been cheating. He's been using like pictures lately of people to like look at. It's cheating.
Brady's the only tool here, just to let you know.
All right, so Phil, Dina, and Hank have WX resources. This is episode 58 show notes.
Oh, 58.
All right, Brady, Weather Fools. I have got 2.
Oh.
I've got 1.
I've got 1.
Dina.
Crickets.
Works.
So we've got 4, and Hank. So Weather Fool is someone that did something stupid. Maybe have a video or a photo of someone doing something stupid in a weather situation, or not. You don't have to have one. I'm just doing that. He's looking like
where to begin.
Yeah,
where to begin. I mean,
true.
Phil docks our pay if we don't have them. So we have to
No, if I did that, Maz would owe me a shitload of money.
Yeah, we already know that. Cashing in bonds.
All right, so Brady, Dina, Phil, and Phil for Weather Fools, okay?
Okay.
Then we'll and then Brady, episode 58 show notes at stormfrontfreaks.com, and then I'll turn it over to MJ. Listener questions. We got anything for this?
Got
week?
a couple.
Okay, and then I will close it out. Sound good? Everybody good?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so I will applaud Maz in. So MJ, you can count down.
Okay, I thought you were going to do it.
I know, I did too.
I'll start the applause so that you know.
Somebody.
3, 2, 1.
All right, calm down out there. Hey, time now for WX Resources. That's the place you can find weather tools or maybe just significant video, someplace that's very cool for new weather tech or along those lines. So to kick us off, Dina, we're going to let you go first. Ladies first tonight.
All right. So mine is going to be part of the Weather Underground. They are a website and an app. And this is a little different because remember when we got the Accurate weather station? You guys, I got that. So I liked it I've had it for a year and put it in my backyard, did all the, I have it up to the official height and the right place and everything, but I couldn't share the data. Well, recently I just bought one of those like hubs that shares your data. And if you buy those, you can actually upload your weather information to the Weather Underground site and share it with the entire world. And it is the coolest thing. I have been playing with this thing all week. And you can do it right on your phone. You could save certain weather stations. So if you're looking around, maybe look through your neighborhood, because if you look on a map, there's, I think, over 250,000 around the world. And a lot of these have webcams. And I didn't put a webcam on mine, but there's cool because you can go in other countries. And even my kids and I got on it and we're like, hey, let's go over to Belgium and let's look at something in Belgium. And you could look at the weather, you could look at the forecast. And it's kind of neat because I even saved mine. I have like you sign up, they give you a weather station ID and a password, and then you're uploaded. Now you can share your data. So I share it with my neighborhood so they know exactly which one it is. But even if you look on the map, especially on your phone where you have the GPS location, you can zoom down and see exactly where you are and get like more detailed like current temperatures and things like that. Because like say I'm very far north of Atlanta. So if I were to use Atlanta, it'd be way different. I could get 4 inches of rain up here and they got nothing in Atlanta. But I just think it's the coolest thing. And if you have a weather station or you're into that or want to geek out a little bit, get that little hub that comes with it, and then you upload it and you can look at it on your phone. You can look at it online. It's the coolest thing ever. I'm like a little kid this week looking at this weather app.
Yours is specific to the Accurate.
It is accurate. Like you can do it. You can look at your data on Accurate on an Accurate app, or you can share it with Weather Underground. And Weather Underground, like if you look at the map, there's weather stations everywhere.
Right.
And then you can zoom into your area and find out what's close. And then if you like it, you save it as a favorite. So that way it's right by your house. So, how it is when you go to work, it's raining there, and then you're like, you call home and, oh, nothing's happening here. So it's kind of cool.
Cool.
Nice plug for the Weather Underground too, by the
way.
I
do. I love it. I'm like a little kid. I just got it and just hooked it up this week. So
yep, I do that with mine too. It's
pretty
cool.
Yeah.
Now, does it have to be like in a 6-foot white louvered box and all that?
No. Okay. The weather station I have, it just has to be like 5 feet up above the ground on like a pole, and it has to face a certain way, and like, kind of not right next to trees where it's going to block the wind speed and things like that. The only thing that my weather station can't do, but none of them can, is like it does rain, but snow, you got to go out and measure that with a ruler. That kind of stuff you can't share, but everything else does. It shows like rainfall amounts, and it keeps the Climo data and everything.
How much does it cost?
The weather station, well, I got the weather station from Accurate through us, but it's a little over $100.
Okay.
And then the hub was like maybe $120.
Okay.
But I'm like, I love it. It's such
cool
a
for the
geeky
kids
thing.
too. Kids can geek out on that too, which is kind of fun. Yeah.
And
plus, it might be a write-off.
Cool for me, Phil. You kidding me? I love that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay. If you're listening to Mom, Christmas.
Thanks, Dina. That's great. I love that. All right, Hank, we're going to let our guests see. You got a little weather resource or WX resource for us tonight?
I think one of the most underestimated one is GOES.
So how are you using it? How are you accessing it, and how are you using it?
So I guess we need to explain to everybody what GOES is, right?
Right.
It's geo-operational, right? Geo-orbital?
Operational. Orbital.
Right. What is it?
Geo-orbital.
Geo-operational orbital
stationary
satellite.
Oh, crap. Been a while now.
It's too late. So GOES. Geo-operational environmental, geo-orbital environmental something. Anyway, it's pictures from space. So when you're looking at a cloud, you can get on GOES and you can see a picture of that cloud from space. How
That's
cool is that?
So tell us how you're using it. What do you like about it? What are you using it for?
Well, it's extremely informative on finding Q fields, on finding instability, especially for locating sprites. You need the anvil's a big problem. If you want to see red sprites and blue jets from Earth, you've got to get away from the anvil. So you can turn on, you can look at GOES even at night. You can look at the infrared and see where the anvil is. And so you drive, okay, I need to drive 200 miles this way to get away from this anvil because it's huge. And hopefully I can see sprites above the updraft. And then, of course, the overshooting top, how cool is that? That's, you can look at GOES, see the overshooting top, and that's where you probably want to be close to, but not underneath it directly.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a website you're going to view that?
I Google GOES.
Okay.
It works. And then I've had the same app on my phone or website that I just do GOES interactive and click on Northeast Conus and boom, there it is. And then
cool.
Now we have GOES 16, which is higher resolution, more frequent pictures. I don't know the exact rate, but anything GOES is extremely awesome.
Sweet. Anything goes?
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
Fun fact too, the G is geostationary, which means it doesn't move with respect to the Earth's rotation. So that's why you can always find it in the same spot.
I can't believe I got that wrong.
What is it? Is it geo-operational
orbital? Environmental.
Geostationary operational environmental satellite. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It is environmental.
Good job.
Thank God Brady had his computer in front of him.
Yeah.
That was from Dr. Hobgood. He sent me a text. So
yeah,
it
only took you 5 minutes to chime in as you typed that in.
I was letting everyone talk.
Storm chasers.
Is he watching live right now?
That's right.
I was kidding.
God, no.
Oh, okay. All right. Messing with me. All right, Phil, better save us on this.
All right, now I'm going to be quick then here because we've written a novel already tonight. So my WX resource is I actually just went storm chasing last weekend in northern Kentucky, which is one of the worst places geographically probably to chase because of all the hills and trees and everything else. But regardless, just one of the tools that I've talked about, some of the just small little things I use. I'm not a big photographer because I can do so much now with my iPhone and a little GoPro. But what's kind of nice is I had a little tripod for my iPhone, which is nice for especially doing any time-lapse videos and things of that nature. And I've never really talked about it, and I've used it quite a bit. It's a nice resource. You go on Amazon and just look up iPhone tripod or look up your Android tripod. The only challenge with mine was it has very small tripod legs. And so when the gust front comes in, that sucker blows over all the time because that iPhone acts as a nice sail. So they now have on, and they probably had these before, I just never realized it, but they have on, you can go to Amazon anywhere else and look up iPhone tripod, but you can get one with extended legs just like you would a camera tripod. So you can get a little bit stronger base for when the wind and the gust front and everything else comes through. Hopefully your iPhone can stay stationary for that purpose. And they're really inexpensive. You can find them for $12.
Oh, that's it?
On Amazon, cool. And I'll put a link on our show notes for that.
Amazon has everything.
Yeah, Phil, I'll endorse that. I use that whenever I go out and look at lightning. I mean, it's almost a must. If you're going to do any kind of time lapse, any kind of photography, you need a tripod.
Okay. All right, good. So we all have links, which we may not remember. So you can find them by going to stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 58 show notes. And you can find all the links, other pieces of information, whatever you'd like to find. It's there. All right, that's it. Brady, time for your segment.
It is, it is time for my segment, and let's continue writing this novel. I know, Phil, you love that. So there's no applause for this round. I don't know why, because I've received several emails from everyone just telling me that this is their favorite part of the show. Grandma loves it. This is PG rated. Bring your kids around because this is the Weather Fools, or us as freaks. We're going out looking on the internet, looking on Twitter, even looking in our real life. I'm constantly searching for the Weather Fool at work. And we're looking at stupid things that someone does related to the weather. So that's simple enough. Phil?
Yes.
I know you have two.
I do have two. So I'm gonna start off with my first one, which is real simple. It was a tweet that I saw. I think this might have been a week ago or so. But it was a tweet from a meteorologist, Christine Rapp. She is a meteorologist at Fox 31 in Denver. And her tweet was, just doing exactly what I told everyone not to do today. So she ran 3 miles in the afternoon in 90-degree heat. And
please.
Nice.
She's got good makeup. Shut up.
She did a hashtag contradicting meteorologist.
She looks way too good to have run 3 miles in 90-degree heat.
She's my weather fool for doing what she tells all of her people not to do.
Yeah, I can see good that. Now, Phil, do you have a second one?
No, okay, so I do have a second one.
Go ahead.
I'm going to share this. Now, this is a video. And I will, first off, I saw this video and I thought fools right away. And I thought, well, okay, how is this a weather fool? So I'm kind of stretching it a little bit. But, hey, we have nice weather. Would you guys agree? We have nice weather, sunny weather. And what do you do when it's nice out? Well, you go outside. You might go boating. Do something in that nature. So the weather fool I'm going to share with you, I saw on YouTube, and it was someone getting ready to go on a boating ride. So they're setting up their GoPro camera or whatever it is on the front of their boat, and this thing was like a speedboat. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. There's
He's
some
just
drinking
trying to
in
get the girls in the
background.
bikinis.
Yep.
And so they get going in the speedboat, and they're moving pretty good. No one's sitting down. There's really not seats because it's a speedboat. And they're moving really fast. Everyone's kind of standing up. I'm going to fast forward a little bit further. And they're really moving. They're bouncing and bumping in this boat. They're hitting some waves. I don't think it's really wavy, but I just think they're going so fast that I think eventually these guys catch some air. And I'm going to fast forward to that scene where they're driving around. Oh, they caught a little bit of bumps there. And wham.
Oh!
Ouch. Overboard.
And that nice day.
Where'd the driver go? He's gone.
That nice day turned into not so nice of a day. So there was recommendations in the replies that you have to watch it at quarter speed because it's so funny. But some of the comments were the driver had douchebag written all over his face.
He was trying to impress those
They were a little distracted. Yeah.
So someone said bald guy flew like a toy. So I'm gonna play it at quarter speed for you.
Do it again.
Hold on. Let me set up quarter speed because it is when you watch it in slow mo. It is definitely
oh my God
funny. So let me
mute yourself though, so it doesn't.
Yeah, so they're again driving around, and the driver has to all of a sudden he's cutting the speed, and then he's giving it more gas again. He's easing back and he's going back and forth like it doesn't even work. And what happens with the boat is it somehow catches air and goes sideways and hits the water sideways, and that's why everybody flies sideways. Watch the girl. Look at the girl eating the wave.
Go up her nose.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Oh God. So the boat didn't sink. I mean, it just caught a hell of a lot of water, but it must have caught air and then went sideways. Wow. And when it came back down sideways, that's what flew everybody.
He had to go. He was trying to impress those women.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I've never actually watched. I've seen that video before. I've never seen it in 1/4 speed. So that was
yeah.
Incredible. So yeah, that was incredible.
So that was those are my weather fools. Just nice, beautiful weather day.
Yeah, so people never drive through a water spout that we know now that is a tornado, and never do that. If you take two things away from the show, that's it. All right, Dina, I understand you have a weather fool. Who's your weather?
And this is the funniest thing I have seen in a long time. So I'm going to share this because you've got to watch it. All right, so this is talking about the heat wave in the UK. So my weather fool is actually, it does talk about weather, but it is okay. So this woman comes, the thumbnail gave it away. So this woman comes home and she's like, why is all my stuff in the hallway? She doesn't understand. She's like, my little guinea pigs or whatever, they're in the hallway. All my furniture's in the hallway. So she opens the door. She comes in, she finds her boyfriend in the heat. He blew up one of those little kind of like those
like kiddie
inflatable kiddie pools in the living room, and he's playing Xbox.
Oh no way.
There's no room because the only room that's left is the L-shaped couch.
Bunch of empty bottles.
And and he's got beer bottles in there. She's like, in the belt. Yeah. There. He's like, what? He's like, I'm having a good time. She's like, what in the holy are you doing? He's like, I'm playing games. He's like, it's hot.
Died in Fortnite. Yeah.
Oh my God. So then she's like, how are you going to get this out of here without making a mess? He's like,
Right.
He's like, we'll think about that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Oh.
It is the funniest thing. And he just moves and he's getting water all over the carpet and she's yelling at him.
Hope it's
like the heat's not going to kill you, but she will. Oh my God. It's the funniest
you
thing.
pray to God they don't live above you in the apartment complex.
Oh yeah. And so you got to watch it and you got to listen to the way she's talking to him. It's hilarious.
Wow.
Oh, anyway.
Dean, I'll tell you what, you just gave me a couple great ideas for when I get away.
And you could tell he just bought it because the empty box was sitting on the couch right next to him. So he just filled it up. Yeah.
Genius.
So he thought he was so cool and she's like, what in the holy F are you doing?
And now you can pee in your living room too.
Yeah, exactly. With his beer bottles.
With your beer bottles and apparently just dump them in the pool.
But that's such a dude thing, isn't it? Like you blow up
that's why it's genius.
I know.
It's genius.
And he's got the Xbox and electrical cords and everything. It's awesome.
Just hanging out, man. When a dude's hot, sometimes you just gotta go. You
gotta watch it though. The reactions are so funny.
Well, if you do want to watch it, you can go to our website at stormfrontfreaks.com. Check out our episode 58 show notes, and you'll see those links there.
Right. All right, MJ, what do we have for any listener questions or comments?
All right, we got a couple tweets. RVA Weather Watch says, was looking for some new podcasts to get into and found you guys. Particularly enjoyed your discussion with James Spann. Great show.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun with him too.
Yep.
Thanks.
So thanks, RVA Weather Watch. Jesse Farrell, he was the winner of our giveaway of the Brantley Hargrove, The Man Who Caught the Storm book.
Oh.
And so he sent us a thanks, guys. This will be a great read for vacation. So thanks.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah,
thank
absolutely. You. And Kent Porter says, got a suggestion for you. Says, hey, y'all, love your program. Ever thought about doing a segment on people who cover or photograph forest fires? Pretty topical right now, as it is.
Time.
Yeah.
It says, anyway, keep up the good work.
Cool. That's a good idea. That is a really good idea because I think that's
might be interesting.
Oh yeah, that's not, and that's
widely
what do they call those guys? There's a name for them. The guys who do that.
Forest fire photographers.
No,
crazy guys.
The guys who fight the forest fires.
The fire jumpers.
Oh,
yeah,
jump. Yeah,
yeah.
But isn't there another name for it? For those guys.
All right. Well, on that note, I think
way to bring the show to all.
I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for listening or watching. Before I share the reveal of our next guest, if you enjoy our show, do us a favor. Leave us a great review on your podcast app. Don't forget to subscribe to the show by hitting your podcast app subscribe button. It always works just like a magazine or newspaper subscription. When you subscribe, it just assures our latest show gets delivered right to your inbox the moment we release it. I want to put a special thanks and shout out to our guest tonight, Hank Schyma. Hank, thanks for joining us this evening. And we may or may not get your music on the podcast, but if we don't and you're listening to the show, make sure you go to YouTube to watch to make sure you catch Hank's great rendition of The King.
And,
so our next
and the coolest videos that he should win the gold medal for. You got to check
that too. That too. Yeah, we'll have links to the ones we talked about so that they can get to your YouTube channel. I know you don't want people to follow you, but we might at least do that. So our next episode in 2 weeks, we're going to be recording on August 9th with one of the original members of the Weather Channel, Tom Moore. Is going to be with us in a couple weeks. If you'd like to watch the recording live at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, check out our YouTube channel by searching Stormfront Freaks. So for MJ and Maz, Brady, Dina, and Pecos Hank, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear, and we will catch you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Peace.
All right. Hey, Hank, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Hank.
Guys.
Great
A lot
job.
of fun hanging out with you. Appreciate it so much for having me out.
Yeah,
Awesome,
that was
thanks.
great. You brought a ton to the show tonight, so we appreciate it.
And
I
if the picture's missing, you know where it is, Hank. It's over at Phil's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna print. I'm gonna. Yeah, if you're selling that, I'm gonna have to buy that and put that on my wall. I've been looking for it.
Hook me up. Yeah, you can send me a mail. I'll be happy to sell you one.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, smoke jumpers.
Smoke
jumpers.
jumpers.
Smoke
Yes.
jumpers.
Thank you, Timothy, who was watching tonight.
Thank you, Timothy.
Cool. Thanks, Tim.
Awesome.
I will, Hank, I'll go ahead and like I said, we will edit, and we usually upload the show, and it's available. The podcast is available usually by Sunday. So I will email to you either sometime this weekend or Monday, just the links and all that jazz. So you've got that if you want to use it for anything. Or okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely share it with the people that I can share it with.
With my people.
Yeah.
Share it with my people.
Share it with the
Post
people.
it on all those sites for people to, hit the like button.
Gotta get those ratings, man. We gotta get them.
Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Hank. Thanks so much. You were outstanding. So thanks
thank
for
you
the
guys
time.
so much. I appreciate you making this happen, and thank you
Awesome.
guys so much. And hopefully we'll see you guys again down the road somewhere.
Absolutely.
Sounds
Absolutely.
good.
Have a good night, man.
All right,
Hey,
bye-bye.
safe,
Thanks,
bye.
Hank. Thank you.
Okay. The rest of you guys, anything else
Nah,
you
it's
need
it.
or
It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
no? You're good. Okay.
Tell us
So
about storm chasing.
there's not a whole lot to tell. I mean, it was. I ended up near Sparta, Kentucky, which is where the race Kentucky Speedway is, kind of near there, and partly because it just the terrain is so bad, and so I ended up down by the Ohio River because there are a couple places on the river that it was open, and you could see down the river.